Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Crypto Takeover coming back with another Bitcoin analysis video for y'all this evening. So if y'all are brand new to the channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that I make. We go over the Bitcoin charts every single day on this channel, so don't forget to hit that notification bell, and so that way we can go over these together. Y'all can leave some good comments, and we can make our way forward and try and learn a little bit more about how Bitcoin moves in different market directions. So we recently just ran up to, we had a really nice run up to almost 9,500, 9,900. Wow. Okay. And so as you can see here, I'm on the Bitstamp chart. We'll go into a little bit more about that, but let's go ahead and send the intro and then we'll get started. All right, so Bitcoin made a nice run up to about that 9,900 area, almost 10K really. As you can see here, it does look like we have touched major trendline resistance as of right now. So the fact that I'm on the Bitstamp chart, this was actually one of the correlating charts that really held that trend line as resistance. Our Bitstamp, our Bybit chart, we wicked up above it and then we dipped down below it. I think we're still in that same kind of predicament. Let's go into our Bybit chart real quick. Yeah, so it does look like we are holding that trend line above on our Bybit chart, but as we can see on our Bitstamp chart, we are still holding pretty major resistance from here on out. So whether or not Bitcoin can actually push through there, that's yet to be determined. But we're going to dive into the charts a little bit more and see what we can maybe make out and how this might occur exactly. So don't forget, we make Bitcoin videos every single day and we're always here. So I'm glad that the channel is growing and that y'all are staying up to date with what we have going on. Looking at our 15-minute time frame here, we can kind of see that we are retesting that trendline structure, or the VWAP structure as support as of right now. We could anticipate something like a head and shoulders that might be forming here too. So if we break below this VWAP, then I would imagine that we will probably start to see a little bit of a sell-off, but that might not occur as big of a sell-off as we may want it. As we start to move into some of the higher time frames, that could change. So let's move on into our 30-minute time frame. We can also see that our money flow was heavily into the green here. As of right now, it seems that it is kind of rounding off just a tad bit. And also our trigger waves are sending us a little bit lower below our zero pivot point. And as y'all can see here, when we had this nice run up, I mean, it was insane. I wasn't expecting us to retrace all the way back up to 10K, but it looks like we relatively held nice resistance right below 10K. It doesn't look like we got all the way, at least on our Bitstamp chart, up to 10K. About 9,900 was where we hit. So technically still putting in a lower high. If we start to trend out sideways and make another leg up, then that'll be relatively bullish for Bitcoin. But as of right now, this could end up just being somewhat of a lower high that we are putting in. As we start to get these trigger waves, it maybe move us down below the zero pivot point. You can see how this wave pattern forms here on our 30-minute. We had a nice run up, sell off, and then nice run up. So we could end up seeing another sine wave to bring us back down into this below the zero pivot point too. Once these blue waves start forming on the zero pivot point, that could be an indication that we might retrace just a tad bit. Looking at our 45-minute here, our 45-minute is also telling us that, still relatively in the green as of right now. We did clip down into our red money flow, but now we are starting to see more of that green sentiment come back into play in the market, and it does look like Bitcoin is relatively strong as of right now, holding some nice support above the 9K level. So we'll have to see exactly how this is going to end up playing out. But yeah, let's move on into our 1 hour and see what we have showing here too. Guys, if y'all are interested in getting Market Cipher, the Market Cipher indicator, which basically is 3 indicators combined into one package, y'all can check out CryptoFace's website. I have some links in the description box. I think I have a link to his channel down there. Y'all can go to his YouTube channel and then find his links to sign up for the Market Cipher indicator. But I've been using it for a couple of years now, and feel like me doing daily videos and due diligence with Market Cipher indicator obviously helps me in my trading abilities. So right now it does look like a sideways correction. As we start to zoom out even on these time frames here, it does kind of look just like a flat that is forming. So we could start to see a little bit more of a retracement if Bitcoin decides to make its move to the top side. But if this is a three-wave, if this is a three-wave move here, then we could probably end up seeing something of maybe a five-wave structure back to the downside. So if we get 1, 2, 3, three-wave sideways correction, we could make a five-wave move down here. That is a possibility, but I'm not huge on Elliott wave, although I've been trying to study it a little bit more, and we can definitely try and figure out a little bit more about that. So guys, I do want to tell y'all about the trading group that I offer, so let's go ahead and move on into that real quick. Oops. Let's see here if I can get into that screen. There we go. So we have a trading group also as well. If y'all are interested in joining the trading group, you can access it through Patreon, and then we have our own private Discord server that y'all can join too as well. When you do sign up through the Patreon page, there is a couple of videos in there that I would like for y'all to check out. If y'all do want to check it out, there's about 12 different videos inside of the Patreon page, and it tells you how I set my charts up, how I set Market Cipher up on my computer. So once you purchase it from CryptoFace, if y'all want to come back to the channel and see how I do things here, then we can dive on into a little bit more. So I also reference 2 altcoins that I'm in heavy accumulation of, and actually a few of those altcoins are up pretty big percentages right now too, so I'm super happy about that. We'll just have to see what the market overall is going to decide to do for us, and whether or not we are going to actually break through this resistance point, or if we're going to continue back down lower. We do have this support line down here at about the 8K level, so if we end up coming back down to retrace, you know, that could be a very strong support line for us to hold moving forward. Let's move into our 90-minute time frame. So as we start to zoom out a little bit more on these time frames, we can see that the bullish sentiment is relatively high. As of right now, we're clipping back up into those green waves, but really, is Bitcoin going to be able to make it through this resistance line that we have drawn out here? On some charts it already has, but I like to look at the Bitstamp chart a lot, and as of right now, it has still not been able to break above the Bitstamp chart, so we could be seeing some major resistance as of right now on that trend line structure. We can see here on our 90-minute, we are also getting a little bit of a sell-off on our blue wave. Let's turn on our buy and sell signals. So we are getting a sell signal here on our 90-minute time frame, and then on our 2-hour time frame, we already got the sell signal there. So we're seeing a little bit of topping out happening here, but we just need to play it cautiously to decide whether or not Bitcoin might retrace a little bit more. So if we were to draw maybe a fib retracement out to this level, you know, we could come back down and retest our maybe our 0.5 or our 618, which is right at about 8,700. So 8Ks could still definitely, you know, be in the picture. But you know, we pushed through 9K relatively quickly too, so that's also a good indication that the bulls do want to kind of take this over as of right now. Guys, if y'all would like for me to use Market Cipher on any other charts that y'all may have questions about, or that y'all would like a private chart reading about too, y'all can sign up with the YouTube membership page. So feel free to sign up with the YouTube membership and then message me and let me know what chart that you would like for me to review. It's a little bit cheaper than the Patreon page, and you already get that perk with the Patreon page if you join. But it's just another option for y'all if y'all would like for me to review a chart for y'all using Market Cipher as well. So join the YouTube membership if y'all are interested in that. Also, I do newsletters every once in a while. It's a free newsletter that I send out, so check out the links in the description box. I think it's the second link to go ahead and get signed up for that. I'm doing my next giveaway at 3,000 subs, so we're going to give away some cryptocurrency. I believe that's the easiest way to do some giveaways, so make sure you get signed up for that. For the giveaway, and in order to do that, you need to be signed up for the newsletter. So make sure that y'all check that out if y'all are interested in also the giveaways as well. I do have the Discord server. It is available to the public, so feel free to join us on the Discord server if you like. When you do join the server, there is a welcome page that you will be brought to, and you just need to read through the rules and guidelines before you actually enter the server. And then once you read through the rules and guidelines, click the little green checkbox, and then you'll have access to the server. The private trading group does have a private category in there, so you won't have access to that. But of course, you can get signed up with the with the Patreon link down in the description box below, and learn a little bit more about my ins and outs of the markets, how I'm trading this, as well as access to my 2 favorite altcoins. I also tell you how to set up a few different indicators, custom indicators inside of TradingView. There's a lot of other data in there too as well. Some new posts that I've been posting in there to let us get a better idea of where these markets might be headed to as well. So I highly encourage y'all to come join us in the Patreon page if y'all are interested. Also, the Telegram channel is available. It's just an announcements page, so if y'all are interested in staying up to date with me and also learning about some different perks and rewards, maybe some discounts that I'll offer here in the future, feel free to sign up for the Telegram channel as well. Let's go back into the charts real quick too. And as we can see here on our 2 hour, we are kind of getting this little bit of a sell-off. Let's move on into our 3 hour here. 3 hours also giving us a little bit of a unsure of what it wants to do, maybe some doji action happening here. I think as we start to zoom out, even on our 3 hour, we can kind of see our money flow still kind of rounding off. And this is where I want to be really cautious, because some of these mid time frames are still telling us, well, we still got a little bit of bullish sentiment left. You can see that we have been in very strong positions with our blue wave on this buying area above our 0 pivot point. Now, if we start to dip back below our 0 pivot point, then that'll probably indicate a pretty big sell-off happening. But as you can see here, we had this major dip down below. We had our money flow start to look like it was ready to go red, and then we had all this buyback action happening in here. So definitely a lot of action happening on these mid time frames, and we're just gonna have to kind of see how it plays out. So I will be keeping a very close eye on some things here on our mid time frames as well, but we are starting to get maybe some red dots happening here as well too. And these red dots on our mid time frames are going to indicate that, well, we are seeing kind of a topping out pattern here. Money flows also kind of rounding off. We are putting in somewhat of a trend line structure here on our blue wave on our 4 hour as well. So we could see something like this, but we probably could still have a lot of bullish sentiment left in the market to try and get us back up above that trend line area of structure. If not, we're probably going to end up falling off here and maybe come back down and retest that 8K area, or get back into at least the 8K numbers, if anything. But I want to be really hesitant right now. The fact that we are hitting very strong resistance levels, I think that our higher time frames are really going to have to wait to play out just a tad bit. Now we can kind of see the topping out action happening on our mid time frames, and then as we start to move into some of these higher time frames, we can kind of see how the bears might play this market out into the future. So moving into our 6 hour as well, maybe indicating a red dot to occur here pretty soon, but our money flow is relatively thick here. This is looking really healthy for the bulls as of right now in our mid time frames. So I would definitely want to see some of these, if we are going to dip down a little bit lower, or if we are going to try and push through this, we're going to need to see probably another big blue wave being put in here. And kind of hanging and hugging this top area of support. But if we start to round off, like our money flow is kind of rounding off just a tad bit, then we can anticipate maybe a move down too as well. Moving into our 8 hour as well, we can kind of see the money flow is still looking really, really nice here. You know, and also that our blue wave is also still pushing to the top side, but our VWAP is kind of clipping off just a tad bit, maybe indicating that there is some sell pressure happening at this resistance line that we have here. So this, we could actually consolidate out here and then maybe decide what the market movers want to do, possibly by the end of May, and where they would like to send this. But this is pretty jaggedy area right here, and we could just have some movements in here, I would imagine. You know, maybe some up and downwards action here until we get to one of these points and decide to break up or break down. So that is a possibility. I think that will most likely play out. We might just move sideways from here until we can get the bullish momentum or some more bearish momentum to send us back down a little bit further. Moving into our 12 hour. Our 12 hour also giving us, so a lot of these higher time frames did pop off buy signals yesterday, and that was kind of a note to have, that we could see, you know, this end up running for us for a little bit. But we've been getting a lot of buy and sell signals here on our 12 hours, and it's kind of, well, you know, the tighter this range gets, the more unsure we will be in a direction as of right now. So could definitely see this range playing out just a tad bit more, probably till the end of May, maybe around the 22nd or the 23rd, which I think is on a lot of people's minds as of right now, just to see how this month plays out, given everything that's going on in the world right now too as well. Is Bitcoin ready to decouple? That's a possibility, but we're really going to have to see how the market movers play this one out. Guys, if y'all are interested in upgrading to a new plan of TradingView, I use the premium plan. I would at least recommend that y'all use the Pro Plus plan if y'all are using TradingView. It just allows you to have a few more indicators on the screen. And then as you can see, I have my buy and sell signals and my Aldo EMAs, which are both custom signals that I teach you how to set up inside of the Patreon page. So I have private videos in there. I tell y'all how to get all y'all's EMAs into one indicator. It's a custom code that I provide with y'all inside of the Patreon page as well. So instead of having a bunch of EMA indicators on here, you can combine them all into one, and that is the Aldo EMAs. So feel free to check that out if y'all do decide to join the Patreon page as well. That is available. That private video is available in there for y'all. And then also I tell y'all how to get TradingView for 60% off. So I actually got my premium plan for 60% off. I tell y'all how to do that inside of the Patreon page. There's a nice little tip and trick that y'all can use, and it has been confirmed to at least be working for all my Patreon members that have tried it out. So feel free to try it out when y'all do join the Patreon page. If y'all haven't upgraded, I teach y'all how to get that for 60% off. Then also you can check out 3 Commas if you like. I don't know. It's really just it's a trading bot that you can use to get in and out of the markets relatively quickly. Or if y'all just want to buy and hodl, y'all can use Ledger, buy a cold storage wallet if you are if you're just a crypto enthusiast in general, not your keys, not your coins, right? Bybit is another platform that we use to leverage trade, but make sure that you use the testnet first. Whenever you sign up, ask chat support how to access the testnet, and that way you can paper trade BTC and not put too much at risk, right? And just learn a little bit more about trading. Then also Prime XBT allows you to trade the S&P 500, gold and silver, different fiat currencies, all using Bitcoin. So pretty cool. Y'all can feel free to check out the links in the description box. We're probably going to go ahead and get finished up here on some of our time frames. So let's look at our 21 hour. 21 hours giving us a buy signal here too as well. We can kind of see that we're still very bullish on some of these higher time frames right now. So as of right now, I'm kind of just waiting to see if we're going to break through this resistance line. If we do decide to break up through this, we could definitely come up to maybe refill that gap at 11K. That is a strong possibility, but first we're going to have to get through 10.5. If we can get through 10.5K, then I would imagine that we're going to probably try and hit that 11K area. But you can see here that we topped out last time at about that 10.5 area. So that's going to be strong resistance for us as well moving forward. But if we can break this trendline structure with a decent amount of volume and maybe get to that 10.5 area, 10.5 would probably be about right here. Now we would probably want to see a trendline structure break at about maybe 5%, which is right at about 10.5. So that would be a nice indication that we have pushed through with enough volume to maybe hold this trend line as support moving forward. But there is some concernment that I want to be aware of moving into our higher time frames as well. And so we're going to be really cautious here moving forward. We had our nice little green strong candle here to give us that buy signal on our 1 day when we recently just had our sell signal here. So market movers are definitely unsure if they want to sell everything or if they want to keep buying because of the crisis that is happening. This could be a safe haven for most investors. As we know, we have also been given the news that there are a lot of people, a lot of big investors finally moving into the space, and people are starting to come out and say that they are investing in Bitcoin. So that obviously gives more of more of the smaller folks a reason to buy Bitcoin at these prices as of right now. So definitely seeing something like that in the near term future. Guys, don't forget, if y'all have not liked the video, hit that thumbs up button so that way y'all can get the algorithm going. That way we can grow the channel a little bit more. We can get to that 3,000 subs to finally do that giveaway of crypto that we are going to be offering. And subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Also leave me a comment down below if you've made it this far. Put down in the charts, or put down in the comments 1 day chart. Let me know that you've made it this far. You know, y'all are the real enthusiasts and the people that keep me going too. Moving on into our 2 day. Today, we did have this sell signal here. No sign of a buy signal just yet, but if we do get a buy signal, you know, within the next couple of, within the next day, maybe by the weekend, I could definitely see us going into the weekend with crazy volatility. Usually I don't like to trade the weekends, to be honest, just because the volatility is just so crazy. And it's kind of unpredictable sometimes too. I think a lot of other people are kind of incentivizing, you know, talk about that as well. But we could definitely push up to that 10K area by this weekend, especially if we get a green dot here on our 2 day. If we get a green dot here on our 2 day, well, that's going to probably definitely send us up to that 10.5 area, if anything. So we could definitely keep an eye out for that moving forward through the weekend and probably into Saturday or Sunday, that we could possibly see definitely a nice little spike up here. Moving on into our 3 day. 3 day, so this is very interesting that I found here on the 3 day, but we are getting these doji candles that have just been forming nonstop. Whether or not we get this red dot here on our 3 day, I think that's going to be a big determination of whether or not this is a fake out or not, or if we can get, you know, wick through to 10.5 and then possibly, you know, consolidate out a little bit more underneath the trend line structure. But this will be very telling. I think this will confirm on the 15th. So if we get a red dot here on our 3 day by the 15th, I could see us maybe even putting in a green dot after that. I think our money flow is very telling here that it is trying to move us a little bit higher as of right now. So we need to be very aware of that this will probably not act out the same way as we had our last red dot in our 10.5 movement. So when we did wake up to that 10.5 movement, we did have a little bit more bullish, bearish sentiment because of the money flow kind of trailing to the red side there. Now money flow starting to move back into that greenish area. It will probably keep this blue wave afloat a little bit longer, and that could definitely send us up to that 11K area. But our 4 day has not confirmed a red dot just yet. But I would say if our 3 day confirms a red dot by tomorrow, then we could probably see something of a push back to the downside to maybe indicate a 4 day red dot. If not, this money flow will probably keep us afloat and continue us further to the upside here too as well. So very interesting times that Bitcoin has found itself in as of right now. Our 5 day is also giving us, you know, this is an interesting chart, but our momentum starting to push us back up into that greenish area. We have a bullish divergence down here on our 5 day. So we could definitely see this start to move a little bit further higher. So I don't, you know, the fact that we are starting to maybe get some rounded structure here on our blue waves in the longer term area, we're really gonna have to wait to see how the end of May plays out. And the fact that we are getting these rounded structures, we could still be due for a little bit further down of a correction, but I think that will occur after we make our way back up to that 10.5 area, if not 11K. And then we could start to see some rounding off structure. But we've been holding this trend line resistance for some time now, since our blow off top at 20K. And this is Bitcoin's time to really shine and to make that decoupling phase from the traditional stock market, which I do believe has been kind of trailing off just a tad bit. Let's move on into our 6 day here real quick. 6 day, nothing really to be too aware of. I did want to just kind of browse through the highest time frames just to see what they might be telling us. Our weekly still looking relatively nice here with our money flow and our movement back to the upside here. Our VWAP is kind of clipping to the downside, but this blue wave could still relatively play out really nicely, and that will be a very bullish sentiment moving forward from here. So you know, I do miss being a doom boy sometimes, but at the same time, I have to look at the structure of the market and just play it for what it is. And guys, it looks like we're ready to hit that 11K area as of right now. Things are looking relatively juicy for us here in Bitcoin and the Bitcoin charts as well. And if we do come back up to retest that 11K, we'll have to see exactly where it sends us. But I do believe that CME gap was at 11K. And we could see definitely a lot of price fluctuation from there on out, maybe indicating another big push to the upside, but we'll have to wait to see exactly how that ends up playing out. I just want to gaze at the monthly here. The monthly is giving us a green dot here as well. So very interesting. But these trigger waves, you know, if we do end up getting something like a trigger wave to send us back down a little bit lower, that's a possibility too. We've been kind of trending off here on our monthly, and we've been putting in these trigger waves here too, you know, that are kind of rounding this way, but money flow is still trying to keep us afloat as of right now. If we do end up getting a red dot, we want to be able to hold this structure at the 0 pivot point. If not, then that's probably going to mean some pretty bearish sentiment moving forward. But we'll just have to wait to see exactly how that ends up playing out on the monthly time frame. We still are a long ways away from that. But you know, maybe June, we'll have to see what June gives us. If it gives us a red dot, then we could probably anticipate a move below the 0 pivot point on our monthly chart. But as for the rest of May is looking relatively nice. It's looking bullish as of right now. Once we got it past the halvening and past all the pre-dump, you know, sell the news happening, it does look like our market, our bulls are really trying to push up and push this further to the upside. So that's not to be ignored at all. Moving forward, but definitely it looks like the rest of May will probably end up being a bullish month. We really just need to break this structure, and once we can break through this resistance line with enough volume, I could definitely see us heading a little bit higher. Even looking at our 2 hour here, it looks like we are still making some wicks to the top side here. So I want to thank y'all for coming back to the channel. We're going to go ahead and end this out with the Brave browser. If y'all haven't downloaded it, I use the Brave browser every single day. It's a super lightweight browser. It's made by the same people that make Mozilla Firefox, and you can earn BAT token, which is basically a way of earning some passive income by clicking on ads in the bottom right hand corner. So super convenient. Feel free to check it out if y'all are interested in earning some passive income. And then also CryptoTab browser allows you to mine Bitcoin straight from your web browser. I don't really use CryptoTab browser to browse the web, but I leave it running in the background of 2 old laptops that I don't use anymore, and it mines Bitcoin for me. And you can also download the app on your phone if you like, or your tablet, and also have the process running on your phone or tablet. So check out CryptoTab browser, link in the description box. Then also check out the Instagram, check out the Twitter. Y'all can come follow me on those, but message me on Discord if you have any questions whatsoever. And I want to thank y'all again for coming back to the channel. It's a little bit longer of a video, but we are having some major price action as of right now. So the volatility is high. You know, excitement is in the air, and we could be getting ready to see that 11K area by the end of this month. Let's see what Bitcoin can do, and if it can break through this final resistance line for us as of right now. I will see y'all in the next one. CTO signing out.